guys, thanks for tuning in. So if you want to see me jumping over sand dunes and rock crawling over deep waddies, you need to change channels now. However, if you want to see how a senior citizen is getting on his adventure of a lifetime with challenges totally unexpected, and see how my journey has changed from what I was hoping to what it actually has become, then you might find this interesting. I thought I'd also add this here about my health in general. Before I came away, I was the healthiest and fittest I've been in many years, actually. I've done a lot to improve my strength by going to the gym and fitness with a personal trainer. I've cycled, I've walked, I do yoga regularly, and so I'm pretty active. And of course there's riding the dirt bike and all that. So I've kept myself in good shape. I've had heart problems in the past, and that was my biggest concern. I'm still taking medication for that, but that was a bit of a worry when I left. How would I be? So far, I came very healthy and very fit, and I felt I had a strong immune system. So when I became ill, I was very shocked, and so ill. So it's been a challenge. Anyway, onward and upward. So at the age of 70, I decided to set off on a trip to Morocco. So I have a map, and a basic plan was to use this book by Chris Scott, Morocco Overland, which is full of routes. And what I was going to do was write to different places and just look around and see if I could follow some of the routes on there. And that's what my only plan I had. I've got 90 days to be in the country. I have no idea how long I'll be here, but this is the journey so far, and it's not what I expected. So, crossed the straits from Tarifa to Tangier, then I rode to Chefchaouen, and I had a nice time there. I had 3 days, a good hike up to the Spanish mosque, and very interesting. And I found a pleasant ride there. Then I rode to Fez, and again, different roads, following Maps Me as the navigator, and had a nice ride to get to Fez. I had 3 good days in Fez, very interesting to look around. I don't want to drive around there again ever, but certainly the old Medina is fascinating. Then I came to Midelt, and the idea in Midelt was to then start exploring some of the trails in the book. It didn't happen. I did a couple of my own little adventures around, a couple of rides which I've videoed, but then I caught the virus. It hit me and it knocked me for 6. Completely changed me, what I was hoping for, depressed me, physically ill, coughing. I managed to get some cough medicine here, and that suppressed it enough to ride, and I got as far as Tinner, and I was basically had to hole up there in a Casbah for 5 nights. I ended up seeing a doctor, getting a short cortisone shot, and some cortisone tablets, and that started to ease things very, very slowly. But this was not pleasant. This was a very, very unpleasant experience, and it was becoming like now survival. This is endurance and survival, honestly, in a way I never imagined. But after 5 nights, I had to move on. I couldn't carry on there. This area, this Atlas, is freezing at night, very, very cold, and breathing in cold air on you is not good. So I had to move on. So I moved on to Boumendades, which was, I had 2 nights there, and I was sleeping with hot air blowers blowing all night just to have warm, dry air in my lungs. Anyway, I managed a ride up to Dada's Gorge and back, which is a couple of hours. Beautiful, beautiful ride if you ever do it. And from there, I went up to Quartzsite, and I had 2 nights in an ibis where I didn't sleep because of a noisy nightclub next door. But I was starting to feel better, starting to cough less and sleep a bit better. So I managed to ride in to Talouine. I was going to spend a couple of nights there, but I had to get out of there as well. There's nothing much there for me. I didn't have the energy to ride and explore. There's some good trails from around there, but I just didn't have it in me. So then I moved on. I had to keep heading towards the coast to get warm air because I couldn't stand the cold. And I managed to Taroudent for a night, and then things started to warm up as I rode across to Tisnit and I got to Sidi Ifni. Again, I just holed up. I had to let my body recover, and I was in an apartment there by the sea for 5 nights, 6 nights actually. And yes, my strength's coming back. I feel better. It's not gone completely, but it's the virus. The virus has driven my trip ever since Midelt, and it's like pushed me across here, just to get warm and feel better. Then I decided to go further south. I turned about Tantan, and I ended up going to El Katia. And this was an awful ride. I've videoed it. It wasn't pleasant. It was a real struggle against strong winds. Couldn't do over 75 kph with trucks passing me. And I booked into an accommodation there. I booked it on booking.com for 3 nights. I got into it and it was awful. It was just awful. So I stayed one night, got out of there as soon as I could in the morning, and I came back to Sidi Ifni. Now, the funny thing is, coming back, the wind had stopped. I was laid up because it was quite chilly, but Donkey was flying along this road. I was struggling to go south. It was almost like it was telling me something, you know, don't go there. But coming back, Donkey was flying along. He was doing like 95 to 105 quite happily on this huge road. I was amazed. So it was obviously saying, yes, go north. When I got to Guelman, I had lunch, and then I found some little interesting roads. I decided to follow these little interesting roads back to Sidi Ifni, and that's where I am now. So this is that's as far south as I've got. Now I'm heading north, and then I'm going to go to Agadir for a night, and then I'm going to spend a couple of nights at Eswaria, and heaven knows after that, because I'm on my way north now. I'm going to stay away from the cold belt. I want to stay nearer the coast, but I want to find interesting roads wherever possible and take my time and head north. It just feels like the right thing to do. So far I've done, I've just written it down. Sorry, 2,823 minus kilometers in Morocco on my Vosges donkey, and I'm very happy with him. So that's it. That's the update so far. Hi folks, I just thought I'd share some of my experience with accommodation here in Morocco, because it's quite interesting and you've got to take the rough with the smooth. And I'm having to travel within a budget. So, you know, I'm looking on booking.com, trying to get the best deals, and I've stayed in all sorts of things. But everywhere has had clean sheets and a clean shower, so I can't really complain. I've stayed in things from like a tiny 2-bed squashed-in apartment room to a big apartment, and now I'm in this Hotel Safi back in Sidi Ifni, and this is nice. But look, I'll just show you around, because there's the entrance. There's a nice cupboard space. It's not, you don't always get cupboard space. And there's a nice shower room, toilet there. But there's the quirkiness of it, because look here. It's like, look at the wiring there. And the sockets here and the wires at the back. And the sink doesn't close properly. And when you sit on the loo, you have to put one foot in shower. I mean, it's a nice shower, it works. That's not always been the case. Lovely big room, this one, but there's no, the bedside light's missing. Comfy bed, clean sheets, slept well last night, and it's got a table and veranda, and that's what happens when you're travelling. You have to wash your clothes by hand. You take every opportunity, and stuff goes all over the place. But this is it, and there's a table there, but it's chipped. But this is Morocco, and to be honest, you just have to get used to it, because this is how it is. And you know, having so many different accommodation experiences and travel experiences, it really opens the mind, honestly. Anyway, see you later.